Hi everyone, and thank you for watching today's recipe video. This is for my cauliflower and spinach curry, although as you can see there's a lot more that goes into it than just that. It's packed full of vegetables and flavour and goodness. I'm using today 3 medium carrots, 1 large brown onion. I've got 6 really large, really ripe salad tomatoes and 2 medium courgettes. I've got the stars of the show, of course the cauliflower, and a big bag of ready-to-eat baby spinach. I'm also including 2 sticks of celery, 200 grams of white mushrooms, 2 tins of green lentils in water. You can use any colour lentils, you can use dried, you can use tinned. And I'm also using the lazy ginger and garlic. Again, you can use fresh. The beauty of this is you can use what you've got to hand. I'm using 1 meat-free OXO chicken flavour stock cube. I've got a huge handful of chopped coriander, and here I've got the spices, the aromatics which I'm using, and I've got today 1 heaped teaspoon each of fennel seeds, cumin, fenugreek, turmeric, hot madras curry powder, garam masala, 4 curry leaves, 3 bird's eye chilies. Of course you can adjust this to your own taste. First thing I'm doing is chopping up the carrots, the celery and the onions. Sometimes I don't bother to chop the carrots, depending on what mood I'm in. Sometimes I might just grate them, again up to you. You want a big pan for this and I don't have one, so I'm using my Ninja Foodi. If you've not got a Ninja Foodi, don't worry, I'm just using the sear saute function on here. No different to having a giant pan on the hob. I'm just going to preheat this and put some spray oil in there, and I'm preheating it to setting number 2. So if you're doing that on the hob, it's going to be a low to low medium heat. You want it just enough so that you're going to be able to saute those initial vegetables that are going in without them sticking, without them burning. So here we go. Now I'm doing all of this one-handed, so please give me a round of applause. I'm giving myself a one-handed round of applause right now. In we go with the carrots, the onion, the celery. This is the spray oil that I'm using. Check your own. I'm using knockoff Fry Light. It's the Morrison's own brand rapeseed oil, and it's 1 calorie per spray. If you're using something different, you might want to check it. In with that, I'm throwing in the 3 really finely chopped chilies. These are bird's eye chilies, as I said. I'm keeping the seeds in. You might not want to do that. I don't want you to have steam coming out of your ears. Be sensible. Here we go, and whoops. Yep, I did say I was one-handed. Trying to get a tablespoon of the garlic and the ginger. In that goes a tablespoon of each. One of those, I can't remember which, is half as in for the tablespoon. The other one is completely free. Because I'm not using lots in this entire meal, I think that half a sin is going to be negligible, so I won't bother counting that. I'm just going to pop the lid on that now. I'm going to leave it for about 10-15 minutes, just so that the carrots and the celery start to get tender. And here you can see they are. Oh, already this was delicious. The smell coming from it was so great. The onions have gone translucent. The carrots and the celery still got a bit of bite to them, but absolutely fine. I did add some water to stop the veg from sticking. When I added the water, I turned that heat up to a 4, so a medium high. And then as soon as it started to bubble, in go that whole plate full of the spices, the fennel seeds, the curry leaves. They need a really high heat to kind of activate fully. The smell from this, as you can imagine, oh, absolutely heavenly. I'm drooling now just watching it. Ugh, honestly, it was so good. To this I'm adding half of the coriander, so half of a handful, and I've finely chopped that. I'm going to give that a big stir. There we go. And into that I've roughly chopped into, I think I chopped them into 1/8, all of those tomatoes, and they're going in as well. And then what I'm going to do is just pop the lid on there and come back to it in a little while. once I finish stirring it, it seems. There we go, lid on. I left this for about 20 minutes to really start to simmer down. And then to that I'm adding all of my mushrooms and all of my sliced courgettes. Again, same process, give it a stir, add a tiny bit more water if it needs it. I think I added enough water just to cover, or almost cover, the vegetables. And then I pop the lid back on, and you guessed it, leave it to bubble away and simmer. Again, about another 20 minutes later, I've come back and it's really started to thicken. This base now is just, oh, so beautiful. I'm adding some more water now because we are going to start to add the real bulk of this curry. And again, I added probably about 2 inches of water in total, including, you know, the veg. So covering the veg and then maybe, I don't know, half an inch on top of that. Bringing that to the boil, I'm adding my 2 tins of drained lentils. This was a great shout on my part. I normally use dried lentils, and if you are using dried lentils, you just want to make sure that once your water comes to the boil with the lentils in there, you want to boil them for about 10 minutes and then let them simmer away for at least another 20 minutes after. Obviously these ones were ready to eat, they're pre-cooked, so I didn't need to add that step. I'm now just adding in the broken up head of cauliflower. I'm going to push all that down, make sure it gets covered in all that lovely base gravy. Yeah, not working very well one-handed, but you get the idea. And then once again, on with the lid. I gave that 20 minutes again. This is not a quick recipe, you could do it quicker, but it gives it so much flavour when you leave it to really sit and marinate in those different flavours and spices. Now I've gone back and checked and it's been on a kind of medium low heat all that time. And as you can see, my spatula, just with a little push, is going through those heads of cauliflower. It's not mushy, it's not soggy, it's still quite firm, which is just how I want it. And now I'm adding that huge bag of spinach and letting that sit on top. Miraculously, it does all fit in. As you'll all know, splendid spinach, Stephanie. It wilts down so quickly. So I'm just going to pack that down, put the lid on it again, leave it for 10 minutes, and we will come back and check and see if that looks delicious. And yep, there we go. All that spinach has all but disappeared, but it's given me that lovely deep green throughout. Yep, all wilted, and there we go, finished finally, because I cannot wait. And look, I got out of this 7 huge portions. So great. I'm going to have one of them right now. I really hope that you enjoyed this recipe video. I really hope that you try to make it, or that I've inspired you to make something similar. If you have, let me know. Leave me a comment and I'll see you soon.